Speed of hire matters, and it's going to be an important and valuable strategy for employers who want to compete in the highly competitive talent market that we are continuing to see heading into 2022. I just read a Bloomberg headline that announced that Home Depot is going to be reducing their hiring time from 5 days down to one. Now, 5 is already pretty darn quick. One is incredible. Now, they didn't share how they're going to do that in the article, but I have some suggestions for any employer that will help you improve your speed of hire. Now, a little caution and caveat here. It's not the goal to just improve speed of hire, because if we just focus on speed without making any other adjustments, the chances are we're also going to see a detriment in the quality of the hire or look desperate in the attempt to increase speed. I see job postings that say things like no interview required, start immediately. And it does reek of a certain amount of desperation. And it's probably a turnoff to some of the job seekers you might be interested in, and sort of speaks of kind of an easy come, easy go mentality. That's not the goal. The goal is to increase speed without sacrificing quality. So first of all, I'm not suggesting that you need to get your hiring process down to 1 day, maybe not even 5 days, but having a defined process at the outset that you can clearly communicate to the applicant, for one, so that they understand what this hiring process looks like. They can pace themselves. You invite them to let you know if there are other opportunities that they're looking at that may be having a faster cycle time. It's good if you can articulate that to the applicant. And then you should be articulating the process and the timeline to that process to every single person on the employer's side who's involved in the decision making. Let's talk about that for a moment. One of the other ways to increase your speed to hire is to have a well-defined process and be clear about who is going to be involved in that decision-making before you ever start talking to applicants. The mistake I see is that an applicant is in play, and then the employer is trying to figure out who else needs to be involved in this decision, coordinating multiple calendars. This should all be done before you ever start talking to applicants. What's the process? Who's involved? And what is the timeline, looking at calendars to make sure that we can move quickly once we begin speaking with those applicants. We also should look at who is involved in the hiring process from a value creation standpoint. Who owns this decision? Who is advising this decision? And clearly articulating why anybody who's involved in this decision is involved. If someone doesn't bring clear value to this interview process, they shouldn't be part of the process. Just involving people for the sake of involving them is a bad idea on many, many levels. Instead of dragging out the process and not making an offer until every box is checked, if your process involves things like educational verification or background checking, you can make your offer contingent upon those pieces being completed so that you can get to an offer stage sooner. And if there's going to be problems with those remaining checks and screens, you're likely to hear about it from the applicant at that point. So there's multiple things that any employer could do to increase their speed of hire without sacrificing quality. And it's a smart move to make in what remains a highly competitive talent market.